Hey guys, sorry about that. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to start the winter maintenance series, and I've thought a lot about how I wanted to do this, whether I wanted to do one long video or whether I wanted to break it up into short videos. And I think I decided I wanted to break it into short videos. One, because the YouTube metrics pretty much say that people have a short attention span and short videos do better, but more importantly, I want it to be searchable. So if somebody searches for, how do I maintain drive shafts or something like that, I want it to come up. So, excuse me. It's early morning and I still have early morning crumb in my throat. So we are going to start with drive shafts, and essentially we're just going to do one quick video on those and what I do to just kind of maintain those and keep them working properly and lubricated and cleaned and everything. And that'll be the conclusion of this video, and then next week there'll be something else. So first, I like to remove the drive shafts from the vehicle to do this, and I do Loctite my screws here, my drive shaft pins, just using blue Loctite. And of course, you'll notice as I'm taking these off, it is important to have your drive shafts phased. And what that means is basically you want it to where the, how am I on camera? There we go. You want it to where your U-joints more or less line up like this. So you wouldn't want your drive shaft to be installed like this. This would be out of phase because your U-joints are going in different directions. See, this one would be going up, this one would be going side to side. So you want them in phase to where they're the same. It doesn't matter which direction your screw is, as long as the actual U-joint is in phase. And we just lost a spacer there. There we go. So all you really need to do this are some basic tools and a paper towel. And most of what you see getting on my fingers, that black stuff, is the Moly lube that I use. Oh, and a toothbrush is a good tool to use. Try to keep this on camera. So we'll just use a toothbrush to clean up the outside of our pinion. We will do more maintenance on bearings and everything in a different video, so I'm not going to pull the bearings and do that in this video. But we'll get a brush and we'll get our pinion bearing cleaned and our input shaft on the transmission cleaned and everything. And this is our .02 spacer that we use in the rear end. We use that to properly shim the rear diff. And then we're just going to give a real good wipe down real quick. Get all the grime and dirt off there. So the Moly lube that I use, it's actually gaining popularity in the RC community to use Moly lube. I used to just use a good synthetic lubricant, which I still keep some with me in the truck sometimes. This is the synthetic lubricant I use. And it does fine. I mean, it's like a good firearm lubricant, so it doesn't attract dirt too much. But the nice thing about the Moly lube is it's a dry lube, and so it's got a water-based, how do they put it? Like a water-based, I don't know, agent that gets, it allows the lubricant to flow where it needs to go. But then when the water evaporates, it leaves behind just a nice dry lubricant that doesn't attract dirt near as much as just any sort of grease or synthetic lube will. Sorry, I might not be doing all this on camera. Sometimes I forget I'm recording a video. Right now all we're doing is just cleaning our U-joints. And this is a dirty job, so if you want to wear gloves or something, It's always good to have some like nitrile gloves or latex gloves or something on hand if you want to. But you want to work that. I don't know if you can hear it. You can hear the grime on that on camera once that lube is kind of cleaned off and I'm working the U-joint. You can hear the grime still in there. And that's what we're trying to clean off with this paper towel. What did I do with that? Shove that into there. And you can, brake clean is a really good thing. You can soak these if you wish. You can spray them with brake clean. I used to have a, what do you call it? One of the like jewelry cleaners, an ultrasonic cleaner. I used to have an I still have an ultrasonic cleaner. And I would drop these parts in it and use that, but it quit working. So I need to get another one. It worked really well. It was just a really old one and it was used when I got it. So I need to get one. They're not that expensive. If you're only going to use it for the hobby, you really don't need a large one. So you can get one on Amazon for around $100 or less. And like I said, they're really good. You put some, you can just use warm water if you want. I used Simple Green in mine, and you just put some Simple Green in it and run your ultrasonic cleaner through a cleaning phase, and it gets these parts super clean. But I don't have that. I can't use that anymore because it's broken, and I haven't been able to figure out how to fix it. So, all right, that feels pretty good. Okay, so the dry lube I use is, well, the kind I have right now is Dry Slide. There's different kinds, but if you just Amazon Molly Lube, this is kind of like the first thing that comes up. It seems to be the most popular, so it's what I'm using. The only thing to really note with it is you just need to shake it really well and keep it nice and mixed, because that lubricant will settle to the bottom if you don't. And then you'll basically just be putting water. So let's reinstall our drive shafts first. And I don't know why, when I phase mine, I like to go mounting holes opposite. So the back of the mounting hole, the threaded side, I don't do this for any particular reason. I just do this because that's how I do it. So you don't need to do it like that. You just need to make sure that your drive shafts are phased. All right. Now we'll do just another dab of Loctite, and I like, for some parts I use a dry stick. I call it a Loctite glue stick, and then for some stuff I'll use the liquid. But like for these, because this is nice and easily accessible and everything, we will just use the glue stick. And reinstall that guy. And then where'd my towel go? Clean off excess Loctite. And the nice thing that I kind of like about the glue stick is, I mean, it's cleaner to apply. But it doesn't actually work as well, in my experience, as the wet stuff. But for this hobby grade stuff, I find that actually to be more of a perk than a drawback. Really, optimally, you would be using purple Loctite for most of this stuff, not blue. I am out of purple Loctite, I need to get on Amazon just to order a bunch of stuff, because I'm really bad at, when I go to the store, at remembering what I need to pick up at the store. So I just need to make an order. But purple Loctite is really what I would recommend for most of this, because you're just trying to keep the screw kind of from loosening and backing out. There's not really a danger of you know, most of these screws, there's not a lot of vibration or anything. So just the tightest amount. I mean, you can put like a dab of nail polish or something on there and it'll help a lot. So now that we have it back installed in the vehicle, and you don't have to do the lubricating part in the vehicle, you can take it out and do it, but let's just put a dab of Moly Lube here. And as you can see, it kind of gets everywhere because it is that water-based delivery system. It kind of splashes, but let's put some of that on there. And the nice thing about this is it's very easy to apply because of that water-based delivery system. It just kind of flows naturally where it needs to flow. Right now, I'm just making sure that the U-joint and the pivot ball inside of the U-joint is evenly coated, and that all of our pins and pivot points on that U-joint are coated, and they are. And so, I'm just gonna dab a little bit on the outside where that water kind of got. Not too much. Not gonna wipe it off because I want that lube to continue to flow in there. That water will just evaporate and it'll leave it nice and clean. All right, that's lubricated. So I'm gonna do the front one. I'm not gonna bother doing that one on camera. I think you get the point. But that is drive shaft maintenance. You'll start to notice some things like this pin here is starting to kind of not really back out. It's just not pressed in there all the way. Stuff like that is okay. You can address it if you want to, but you don't really need to unless it feels loose. Unless you can push it out by hand, then you either need to replace the pin. You can dimple it. You can push the pin back in, and then dimple between the pin and the steel here. You just put it in a vise and take a good chisel and just whack it with a mallet, and it'll put a dimple there on either side. You do that here and you do it on the opposite side, and then that'll keep that pin from moving. It's called peening, I think, or something like that. Anyway, there's drive shafts. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy, and you need to do this with whether you're using steel shafts, whether you're using factory plastic shafts, all your pivot points and everything. If they're metal, you need to be doing this. And even if they're plastic, this Moly Lube, the other good thing about this Moly Lube is it works on plastics, it works on metals. You don't have to worry about what kind of what you're putting it on. So until next time, everybody, have a good day.